mistakes. When I woke up, just after dawn on September 28, 1928, I certainly didn't plan to revolutionize all medicine by discovering the world's first antibiotic or bacteria killer, but I suppose it was exactly what I did. These are the words of Sir Alexander Fleming, the man who discovered penicillin by making a series of mistakes. How was it possible? Well, Fleming was a brilliant researcher, but his lab was often untidy, and he would leave the lids of his place for a long time, letting the air in. Before going on holiday in August 1928, the scientist is said to have made two mistakes. He didn't sterilize all of his plates, and he left the lab windows open. On returning, Fleming noticed that lots of his culture plates were moldy, and that the colonies of bacteria immediately surrounding the mold had been destroyed. After he had done some research, he found that the mold produced a substance that killed a number of disease-causing bacteria, and on March 7, 1929, he named it penicillin. A common mold that might have grown happily on a slice of bread had landed on Alexander Fleming's plates, a stroke of luck which has saved millions of lives. See, this is what life is about. Making mistakes, consciously or not, but most importantly, learning from them. That's truly amazing. As James just said, mistakes are the portals of discovery. They are the way we learn, the way we evolve. I bet everybody knows the saying, nobody's perfect. Well, I know it's true. One way or the other, at one time in our life, we are bound to make minor or major mistakes. As we get older, we find so many things in our past that we tend to regret. These actions make us develop a sense of anger against certain people and worse, against ourselves. A mistake seems to be a negative thing, something we will regret for the rest of our lives, a haunting memory we cannot erase. But if you turn the tables, we may find that some mistakes could make us stronger and wiser. There are lessons to be learned if we just allow mistakes to teach us. Therefore, let's find out together what mistakes we can make and why. Because every wrong step and every failure is there for a reason. You have to bear this in mind all the time, and you shouldn't regret any of the mistakes you make. I remember that once my grandmother told me, I know I have made a lot of mistakes, but I don't regret making any of them. And I asked her, how come? And she answered, because if I hadn't made them, I wouldn't have learned how to make things right. If you agree with her, it means you are ready to listen to what I'm going to say. Let me begin with one of the mistakes that we, as teenagers, frequently make, choosing the wrong friends. I don't have to talk too much on this matter. It would be enough if you just listen to Sarah's story. About years ago, Sarah made some new friends. She met them at a party. They were okay at first, girls and boys, talking about the same teenagers' problems, you know, but then things changed. Her new friends were not exactly what she thought they were. Unfortunately, their behavior didn't make her leave the group. On the contrary, she began doing the same wrong things. She was drunk all the time, starting smoking, and much more than this, she started taking drugs. It seemed that Sarah discovered another world, and she was eager to explore it thoroughly. Along with her weakness began her problems. Problems at school, problems at home, health problems, not to mention her inner struggles and fears. I know what you are thinking about, that Sarah has made a huge mistake. Yes, you are right, but this is not so important now. What is more important is that one day she realized how much her life has changed, how many problems she caused for herself and for the people who loved her. Moreover, she learned a powerful lesson from her mistakes. They taught her to clarify what she really wanted to do in life and how she wanted to live. As Kurt Vonnegut said, and a step backward after making a wrong turn is a step in the right direction. Sarah is 19 now, a smart, beautiful girl who failed once, but who was willing to let us see her failures and mistakes so that we can learn from them ourselves. Some of us are still students. Some others used to be, but we all know that a student's life is full of mistakes. No matter how funny it may sound, mistakes are the most important things that happen in any classroom because they help us figure out what went wrong with the assignment and work towards doing better in the future. But not all of us think or act in the same manner when we get a bad grade. Mistakes usually make students feel ashamed, even stupid. Thus, the natural response is to get upset, to hide the test away, or even tear it to pieces. And that's the worst move to make if we ever want to get better. But the student reaction is perfectly normal, as we live in a society that pressures us to be perfect, and this pressure is reinforced at home by our parents. Despite all this, we shouldn't consider the red pen our enemy, and we shouldn't just look at the grade and then throw the test away. A bad grade isn't a personal attack. Mistakes don't mean you're not smart. They may be just careless errors or single concept applied incorrectly on several questions. If we are open about our mistakes, and if we understand how to deal with errors, then we will see mistakes as a helpful hand. We shouldn't confuse a mistake with a stop sign. In this case, red would mean go and fix it. So remember George Bernard Shaw's words. Success does not consist in never making mistakes, but in never making the same one a second time. Do you remember Sarah? Of course you do. Well, I never told you about her parents. How do you think they felt when they saw that their only daughter got out of the door one day perfectly irrational, and when she came back she was nothing like the girl they used to know? You are right. No parent would ever like to face such an experience. There's no point in talking to you. You don't understand me. You don't even know me. Sarah used to cry to her mother. And thus, the communication between them, which used to flow easily with soft words and warm touches, became a minefield. Whose fault was it? They say that the child enters adolescence, biological, cognitive, and emotional changes transfer the parent-child relationship. Thus, the parents find early adolescence a difficult period. At the same time, children make a series of mistakes, compromising their relationship with their parents. Choosing wrong friends, lying, cheating at school, starting smoking and taking drugs, running for homework, abandoning school are only some of the errors that teenagers seem unable to do without. Well, if you are in your teens, you are still struggling with them. If you are grown up, you've been there too. No matter how old we are, at some point in life, sooner or later, we all make such mistakes. But see, this is won't last forever. Sarah started having regrets, she resumed her deeds and moved on in the right direction. A parent-child relationship must be based on love, joy, peace, and confidence, even if sometimes things go wrong. Believe it or not, mistakes come to our lives for a reason, and we must be capable to be thankful for all. Everyone makes mistakes, and you are no exception. What's more important is how we learn from them. Some mistakes, like forgetting a homework assignment or not studying for an important test, have predictable consequences. Others, like lying, cheating, or actions that negatively affect friendships, have more complicated causes and are more difficult to remedy. But remember, all mistakes contain the seeds of learning. Now, I want to leave you with a few lines taken from poem Landleaf's poem Love and Misadventure. Do you know what it is like to lie in bed awake with thoughts to haunt you every night of all your past mistakes? Now you sleep, you'll set it right if you were not awake.